Let's see, I think we lost 15% of the people. If your neighbor is still intact, check how many neighbors you lost. You lost one neighbor? Okay. Yeah, they all went back into consciousness. Okay. I'm 100% sure many of you have questions from the morning session. I just talked to a couple of young adults and said, I have no clue what you talked about. So, let's make sure we address, as I said, it is a collective living, learning, listening, loving, laughing. Wow, very good. Okay? Collective listening means if a few people understand and the other people are lost in the wilderness, that's not collective learning or collective listening, right? So we need to make sure, otherwise we're not creating the right level of energy environment, and having that energy environment is very important to go beyond your own individual mind or thoughts, okay? So let's start with the first row here. Neeraj, please ask your questions. Don't feel pressured, huh? Okay. No, sincerely, there is no good question, bad question. I simply did not get it. Help me understand it better. That's fine. It doesn't have to be some super duper intelligent question that everybody, wow, look at that question, yeah. Don't feel like that, yes. Okay.
Hi, my name is Neeraj.
Okay. That's a good start. But you still remember it.
Well, just to be honest, I didn't fully understand this whole concept, but maybe if there was a practical example, like you said, you mentioned a mantra or something that would maybe help me to understand the equation.
Okay, we'll take that. Let's take light. Okay? So, light, like for example, now if I put this, that light is shining my hand, right? So the light is, without the light shining on my hand, I can't perceive the hand, right? In order for me to perceive the light, it should shine on an object. This light that is there is not limited to this hand. It is shining on several objects, isn't it? Now, this light that is shining the object, does it have to be associated with objects for its existence? No. So, the existence of light is independent of whether the object is there or not. And this light is all pervasive. It's not limited to one object, it is shining all objects. But without the object, the light itself cannot be perceived. Are we connecting to the 5 points that we went through? Substitute light for consciousness. So consciousness is all pervasive. So you can go through the same principles again. Light is independent of objects. Light illumines an object. Right? Now, light is all pervasive. It illumines not just one object, it illumines everything that it comes across. But the object is not required for light's existence. In fact, you can't perceive the consciousness or the light without an object. Okay, another question, yes, please.
So that makes sense. So, but when you replace light with consciousness, what do you replace the hand? So in your example, the hand was the object. What's the object in the parallel by replacing the light?
Oh, in a parallel, any name, any form, any function is an object. And it shines, when this consciousness shines on those things, it will generate the thought. Yes? Now, if you want, because that's what I was telling the brother there, that without a name form or a function, yeah, you will not have a thought. Think about that. Close your eyes and think about something that there is no name for it, there is no form for it. Very simple. Without a word, you will not have a thought. Without a word, you will not have a thought. Think without a word. Is it too deep? It's a very simple exercise, and that's meditation. That is meditation. Meditation is not sitting and concentrating on something. That's called concentration. To become completely thoughtless is meditation, and in that you will experience your true nature, what you really are. And that's not explainable. Why you can't explain it? Because to explain you need words, and words are objects, and therefore you are constantly using objects to look at the subject. Is that making sense now? Little more? And more? Yes. Well, let's go with the last row. Oh, brother raised the hand here. You have a question, brother? Yes. Is that even more complex? Yes. Okay. Yes.
Sarah, my name is Simon Gale. I think you said it, what I was thinking about during the break, because I had a thought about it, about consciousness. I think, I don't know whether 3 years ago, I had a lot of, I would say, like emotions, which is called to the thoughts. So I read a book, I don't know the name, but it was written by Buddha. It said, in order to be conscious is where you don't think about emotion. There's no emotion when you are conscious. So there was something I learned there about the meditation. So it said there in the book, when you are having, like, you want to be conscious, you must take maybe I would say a candle represent the light. When you are meditating, maybe you sit in a certain posture, then you take the light, the candle. So in order to be conscious, you must not concentrate on the candle. Just concentrate only on the light. It's where there's no emotion, there's no everything. You just concentrate through the light. That's where the conscious is.
Yes.
So conscious is meditation.
Yes, that's also taught by Satya Sai Baba as what's called light meditation. Light meditation, where it's a good practice where you look at a candle and then you close your eyes and then you bring the light within yourself, and then while slowly you move that light, then it's a beautiful meditation process that Swami himself has taught number of devotees, and we teach that to the children in the SSC classes, where the light that comes in, now that light fills your eyes, therefore whatever you see is lit up, it is positive, like that, whatever you hear. And then this light is now no longer limited to yourself, it is filling you, and once you are filled with this light, you know that it's not just you that's filled with the light, this light is filling everything around you, and therefore you have expanded. So that is the same principle of the light meditation, yes. Okay, Prashant has a question. She's sitting all the way in the back. She has a lot of questions. You don't.
Sorry, everybody. I'm Visanta. I have a question, and maybe for the previous slide and the previous topic. Why everybody shied away from understanding that Vedas is for all? I think when it comes to chanting Vedas and learning it, we all learn it at home. You can learn it online. It's a lot of your own personal time, and that's great. But then you chant by yourself, and then you'll never know that it is meant for everybody if you don't have an opportunity to get together in person and chant together. So I don't think there's enough opportunities where we all sit together. Then I can say, okay, there's someone like Bulalani, there's someone like Kirsty, there's someone like Kavi, someone like you, that all can learn and chant it. It's not just meant, as we all currently understand, I think, for a priest in a temple to be chanting and reciting the mantras. It's for everybody. So I don't think there's enough opportunity like that. And that's maybe why people shy away.
Okay, one of the challenges that she's talking about is, if Vedas is for all, there is no opportunities created for us to come together as all and experience it collectively. That is what is missing, what is one of the challenges. And it happens mostly in a temple environment, where when you go to a temple, it's the priest that is mostly chanting, and we are all, that's a different story. The priest story I won't get into. That will be a more complex story. The priest is not chanting for any Vedas for all. The priest is chanting Vedas for himself to earn money. Nothing more than that. But you're absolutely right. So when you look at what happens, for example, in Prashanti Nilayam, Swami has almost made it like a regular practice for the students to do the chanting every morning and every evening collectively. He has also made it mandatory for the students not to sing bhajans individually. There is no individual bhajan singing in Puttaparthi, you know that. Students have to pay to sing. They will have to sing together. They cannot sing as individuals. What is really emphasizing is that it is not through an individual effort that you will get to that higher level of awareness and understanding. Because at the end of the day, it is limited. It's like another beautiful metaphor that Bhagavan has given. If there is a bulb in a room, that light bulb, when turned on, will only illumine that part of the room, isn't it? So the light bulb's light is limited to that room. Now you go to a moon. On a full moon day, the moon is illumining very pleasantly most of the earth. But it is not clear enough moonlight. Even in a full moonlight, you can mistake a rope for a snake. But when the sun is shining, it is illumining the entire place, and it is so clear that you cannot get confused of one object with another object, isn't it? 3 examples.
Unless you have eyesight problems.
Unless you have eyesight problems, that's true, yeah. But most of the time it's so brilliant you wear goggles to take them. It's too bright a light. But in sunlight there is no confusion, isn't it? There is no confusion. In fact, you will be a fool if you take a torchlight into sunlight and try to read something. Who will take a torchlight to sunlight? Let me read this, what is here? Nobody does that. So, that's a very beautiful lead into what we are going to do as an exercise next, before we cover any other questions. But her point is, collective effort will enhance our own ability, because when you are listening to others, when you are just Vedas for all doing this early morning 5 o'clock chant, you finish the 5th year anniversary, right? 5 o'clock in the morning before the sun rises, Vedas for all rises. And then how many of you actually join those collective chantings? You should put an effort to be part of that. Join that collective chanting. And every month, for example, we have a Ekadasi Rudrabhishekam that is happening every second Saturday of the month, where everybody is joining. 4th Saturday of the month, we chant Devi Mahatmya, which is another scripture that is related to mother's aspect of removing all the obstacles associated with our lives. It's only through that collective chanting that we will be collectively illumined. You understand? That is a very beautiful, important spiritual principle. Otherwise, what will happen is, if you are a drop of rain that's falling on a desert sand, will you exist? You will not exist. But if you are a drop of rain falling into a flowing river, and that to a river like Ganga, you will join the river and you will reach the ocean. And also, once you fall into that Ganga, there is no individual I left. You are part of a flowing river. You are no longer a droplet. And in fact, if you are a flowing river and you came to the ocean front, once you merge in the ocean, you don't exist as that river. See, think about this. Think about how important it is to have a collective sadhana. Individual sadhana is great, but unless you become part of this like-minded people that are doing this for universal peace, your individual effort will only be limited to that raindrop. And if you are lucky, you fall into a flowing Ganges river. If you are unlucky, you fall on a desert sand. And you won't go anywhere. Yes, beautiful question. Any other questions? Yes, brother in the back. Okay, are these questions, hopefully they are helping you also, right? Helping everyone, yeah. And if you want to share a perspective about a question also, it's not just me. I'm not the answer giver here. I'm only most of the time repeating what you said, if you noticed. I'm not introducing anything new. I'm enhancing what you are sharing, not sharing my own knowledge about it. Yes, brother?
Om Sai
Om Sai.
My name is Rajan. Perhaps on this journey of inquiry, when we talk about consciousness, it's a state. What's the relationship of consciousness with mindfulness, or is it a relationship with mindlessness? And the second question is, when we talk about collective chanting, is there a possibility that everybody participating in this collective chanting reaches the same level of consciousness, or is it different for different people?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, brother. Let's take the first one. What's the relationship between mind and consciousness? It's the same relationship as current and a light bulb. Power, current. No load shedding so far. We are lucky. It's the same relationship as electricity and a light bulb. What is the relationship between electricity and light bulb? Is the same relationship as consciousness and mind. Meaning, mind is simply a bulb. Without that electricity, it has no value. It's the electricity that enables that mind to shine. Similarly, consciousness allows the mind to shine so that it will know, it can perceive. Without that electricity, you can have a bulb, but it is useless. Is the example clear? Okay. The next question is about collective chanting. When people are at different levels of awareness, will all be connected to the consciousness because there are different stages of chanting, right? A Kabir chanting versus myself chanting. A Kabir is much more advanced than me. Therefore, we are not in the same state of awareness. So how does that help? For those, this is a beautiful question actually. I keep telling people that once people learn Rudram and they're done with it, they say, I'm done with Rudram, I want to move on to the next one. I am bored, I am done. Oh my God, 11 times they're counting, when is the number 11 coming? Because the mind is bored. Once it thinks that it has learned something, it will quit. But let me tell you, even after 25 years of chanting Rudram, every time this mind is chanting the Rudram, it is learning something new. Because if it has not learned something new, it will go to death. So every mind that is chanting is always progressing. There is nothing called I have progressed perfect or my number of years of chanting is equal to grace of God. Nothing like that. In fact, it's the opposite. The fellows who have been chanting, they're only chanting mechanically. They're never connecting to what they're chanting. But the person who is chanting for the first time, an enthusiast, he or she is chanting with much more awareness than the person who has been chanting for decades. It is exactly like what we experience with Bhagavan in Puttaparthi. The people that have been going for decades and decades to Bhagavan, for them another darshan is a normal chore. But for a person who is going for the first time, the person who is going for decades is expecting Baba to see them. But the person who is going for the first time is going to see Baba. You understand the difference? They are thinking, when is Swami going to come in front of me? When will he look at me? When will he talk to me? Will he materialize this thing for me? All of this is Maya. And in that context, their focus is upon themselves and not on God. But the person who is going for the first time to Puttaparthi, it doesn't even matter to them whether Swami is going to look at them or not. They are happy that they have the darshan of Swami. They are going there to have his darshan, not Swami to have their darshan. Understand? Brother probably can explain about this much more. So the mind becomes so used to seeing the form of God, and it never experiences that every time they are seeing God. So don't count number of years of chanting with state of awareness. They are not directly proportional. In fact, it could be inversely proportional. You see the villagers that come to see Swami, even now, they may not be sitting in the veranda, they may not be sitting anywhere. They will sit there, they will stand there only to go and put their head on the feet of that samadhi, and they are blissed out. No direct relationship. Okay, brother has something to say. It's a very important topic for him, so he has to. Yes. Thank you. Yes, brother.
I just want to share what Anil Kumar gave a very, very good example regarding this. He says the people sitting in the veranda are sitting in the veranda with expectations. Will Swami come to me? Will Baba give me Pada Namaskar? Will Baba materialize a ring for me? All waiting, when is he going to come? Because normally when Baba comes, when he gets off his car, he goes to all these people in the veranda first. And they all sit with expectation. And he says, the devotee that comes very quietly and right at the back of the ashram, come and sit there without any expectations, just only to see Swami and get a glimpse of him and get his darshan. Who is the better person? Is it that person who's full of devotion there, that just comes there to see the Lord, get his darshan and feel so good inside? So the person that comes and sits at the back is better than the fellow sitting close to Swami with expectations. Sairam.
Thank you very much. So, the essence of it is, if you are a Rudram chanter for last 2 years, 3 years, ask the question, every time that you are chanting the Rudram, have you really chanted is fresh? Has it really taken your understanding of the Rudram to the next level? When you are engaged in that type of chanting, you will never be bored of chanting, you will never be bored of any chant.
So that is why most of the time the Rudram chanters, when I come in, I do the thought for the day, not me. Swami does it.
Yes.
But I can always remind the chanters, you can chant Rudram from now till you take your last breath. But if it doesn't help you to transform, if it doesn't take the lust away from you, the anger, the hatred, the jealousy, the pride, the egoism, multiple desires, if it doesn't help you to remove those qualities, then the chanting becomes useless. It's a big zero.
Yeah, so this is not to say that if you don't know the meaning or if you are not connecting to it, stop chanting. So this can be another problem with the mind, because the mind wants to find a reason how to escape. Please, if you look at it, that's the mind's functionality. It's constantly trying to escape. Escape from what? Escape from who you truly are. And therefore, what happens is, will there be an effect of Rudram chanting even if you do not know the meaning? The answer is absolutely yes. 100% yes. No question about that. It's not that you have to know the meaning for you to chant Rudram, nothing like that. Because if that is the case, right, every medicine that you are taking, you don't know what it is doing to your body and mind, but it has an effect. True or not true? Yes. You take a blood pressure medication, it will reduce your blood pressure. You see the effect. But even with the mantras also, 100%, it's like taking a medication. It will have an effect on your mental well-being. It will have an effect on a physical well-being. It will improve your overall quality of life. No question whether you know it or you do not know the meaning. But what is the difference between knowing the meaning and not knowing the meaning? If you know what the medicine does for you, you will begin to understand, oh, this medicine works on this system of my body. It is an ACE inhibitor. Oh, what is an ACE inhibitor? It's an angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitor. Oh, what is angiotensin? Now you see. And it goes back to, now you start paying attention to, how do I reduce my dependency on the medication? Oh, maybe if I reduce my salt, it will improve. If I do exercise. Now what is happening? Now this part of what we are calling as a dis-ease, you are turning into wellness by connecting to the principles underneath. That is why it is called understanding. It's not overstanding, it is understanding. You are going underneath, you are going root, and then you will come to a point that you will not even have even have a dependency on the medication. Means what? You are living Rudram because you have understanding of the Rudram. This is the question that Prenta asked. Because they have heard me say that first you chant the mantra, then mantra chants the mantra, then mantra chants you. So then what happens is, this is the same thing with medication. First you take the medication. Then medication becomes a regular habit, otherwise your blood pressure will keep going back. But if you have any ability to, you don't want to depend on the medication, then you go into what can I change with my lifestyle, what can I change with my behavior, what can I change with my mental status so that I don't depend on the medication, right? That's how you become from illness, you turn it into wellness. So understanding is and becoming aware helps you not depend on the mantra for your well-being, because the mantra is working through you. Are we clear? Yes, very beautiful. Brother Rajan's question, brother's question here. Let's. You are all waiting for what is the mantra we are going to. I know. Yes.
Another question. I suppose it's natural. You keep chanting the rhythm every day, and it becomes mechanical. Just without how do you bring that awareness back? Because I feel when I knew only half of the rhythm, I gave it so much more attention.
Yes.
And now that I know it all, it's just it's mechanical.
Very good. Yeah. That's what is called. Chanting as a process. The mind gets used to a process. And then the process, there is no mindfulness or mindlessness. You are actually chanting mindless. Isn't it?
Yeah, no.
Not you means not personally, many of us. So now, I use the example of electricity for the question that brother asked. The context of a vibration, like a Vedic vibration or a sound vibration, doesn't have to be even just Veda mantras, but mantras are nothing but vibrations. They are not sound vibrations. Sound is what you hear, and that's the only what we call as very limited part of the mantra. You're listening, but go back even one step deeper. How are you hearing? Have you ever thought about that? Or is there a medical doctor here? Now they won't raise their hand. Is there a medical doctor here? Oh, we are all blessed. So, what is hearing? How do you hear?
Vibration traveling.
Vibration, yeah. What does the vibration do? Travels through your ear bones. And then how is the hearing happening? Empty space, no? And in which some fibrils move. That's how you hear, right? Where do you see me? Yeah, yes, brother.
All that happens in the brain.
In the brain. Okay, yes. Somebody asked the question, this is a beautiful question. Do you see me? And they said, yes, I see you. Where do you see me?
In front of you.
Huh? In front. Yeah. The truth is? Where do you see me? In front of me, no. Where do you see? In your eyes. And what you are seeing is actually, you are not seeing me here. You are seeing me in you. You are hearing in you. Everything is in you. Nothing is outside. This is a very tough topic. All the kids will get confused now. I'm turning you guys into some zombies now. So let's not turn into PhDs. Means a permanent head damage. After the Veda workshop, it's not Vedas in the valley anymore. Veda creates Bheda. Bheda means conflict. Veda means awareness. Beautiful. That's another 2 words that Swami uses. Are you creating Veda or are you creating Bheda? Bheda means division, conflict. So it's your nature, the mind's nature is constantly only pointing out diversity and conflict. And to take that mind to integrate and take it into unity, that is the experience of the Veda. So going back to the question, which is profound, why does my mind shut off? Correct? It's a very important question. It shuts off because of only one reason, because Rudram has become an object for you. Now going back to the object analogy, once you know an object, you don't put any focus to know more about it, isn't it? Huh? Because it's an object, I know it. So the moment you say it's an object, I know it, what you know is dead. It doesn't bring any life into you, because it becomes a process. That's how we deal with other people also. Our own brothers and sisters and our own family. They become our own objects. They don't become sentient beings that are emanating love, radiance and all of that stuff. So before your wife speaks, you say, no, you're lucky. There are only 2 kinds of people in the life, Happy people and married people. So what happens is, after a few years, in the first few years, you pay a lot of attention to your wife. Before that, you're a girlfriend, you pay even more attention to her. My God, if you're going for a walk, you see a thorn or some stone there, you run there, you take the stone out. Please be careful, there is a stone here. You will tell her. Huh? And then a few years after marriage, she'll step on a thorn and say, oh, then you say, oh, did you get hurt? I'm sorry, that you got hurt. No removing thorns and all. After 10 years, what happens, She says, oh man, thorn. Can't you see and walk? I'm sorry, ladies, I'm not trying to. If you have any practical examples, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. So, what happened in the case? Just take that example of a man and woman before marriage, 2 years after marriage, and 10th anniversary.
So that's not pure love that they have.
No, I mean, so what happened to the mind? What happened to the mind? Why did it lose? its attention focused to that individual, the same individual. Why it happened? So
Because it was focusing on the body.
I don't want to get into the depth of the analysis because it will lead to paralysis. But you see, now laughing together, we are taking a very difficult concept about how mind gets used to process, and once it gets used to process, what you get used to the process has become an insentient being, even with individuals. Can you look at each individual fresh, without any judgment and predicament that you already know that person? Try this in life, it's a beautiful experience. Because every time what we operate on knowledge of that object, and that knowledge of the object creates a memory, that memory creates what is called your loss of attention or focus to it because you assume that you already know it, you have already judged it. This is a known factor. In fact, if most of the husbands, if you look at them, before the even wife opens the mouth, they say, I know. And then the children, even before, how was school? Good. Have you paid any attention? Somebody is caring to ask you, how's your school? Same guy, same question. As soon as you walk in, even before the mother asks the question, everything is good, and you go in. So what happens there? Same thing happens with your Rudram chanting. So therefore, every time you chant Rudram, are you chanting it with a new experience of it? Have you created that opportunity for your mind to look at Rudram fresh? Look at every individual fresh. Look at every flower fresh. That's consciousness. Yeah, that brother, yes, brother, go ahead. He was raising his hand a couple of times. Yes, I'll come to you next week.
Sadam, so it was a question that I wanted to ask. You see, funny, I once had a dream like what you were describing now. In this dream, Swami comes into our home, and when Swami comes in, then we immediately went and called a number of people to come, and we had some bhajans in the house. And after that, Swami did not leave. He just stayed there, and he stayed at our home for a very long time, maybe for a week or for some days, I don't know how long. And after some time, we started not to pay attention to him. So once in this dream, I come into the house, and Swami is sitting on the floor. He's just leaning on the couch, but he's actually sitting on the floor. He's alone in the house. So I come in, and I don't look at him. I just asked him, Swami, was my wife here? And Swami just answered. And I went out, and when I went out of the door, immediately when I come out of the door, I'm thinking, hey, we have lost that attention into who is in our home. And then in the dream I called my wife, I said, no, we need to pay more attention. But my question is, how do we bring back that same enthusiasm, that same attention, that same freshness to the idea of Vedas or anything?
Very beautiful, brother. It's a very important aspect of what becomes routine in our lives, right? Swami in that case became another person. So we forgot the concept that, oh, here is Swami, is God, the first enthusiasm is not there anymore. It's you take him for granted, and that's perhaps the reason why he left his mortal coil 10 years before he promised. Because, you have to know that looking at Swami as the gross body is the biggest maya and the sin that we make. He's not the gross body. Definitely he's not a subtle body. He's not the body. He's not the mind. If he has told that you are not the body, you are not the mind, do you think he has that kind of a state of existence? So, in a way, it is a great blessing and grace that we don't have a physical association with God. Understand? Because physical association makes you, it is definitely an incredible grace, but physical association makes you take that avatar as another person or an object of experience. Is he on the chair right now? Is he present amongst us? Yes, sir. Okay. If it is yes, nobody will sit in the back chairs. If it is yes, imagine you are in, Swami is sitting in the chair now. Will you sit all the way in the back?
Yes. Yes.
Yes?
Safely way.
Huh? No. Okay. Now you see how many yeses and no's are coming. When you go to a Sai center, do you truly see an empty chair and you have to sing a bhajan or follow a bhajan more important than singing a bhajan? If you are sitting in the mandir and you are singing a bhajan and Swami is sitting there nodding his head, 100% you want to sing at the top of your throat, make sure that he is listening to you. You understand? So physical perception of an object is a hindrance to complete consciousness. It is a guide, but it's not the goal. Okay, now this lady here. Yes. Okay, we'll go into example. Neeraj is very impatiently waiting. What is that next thing he has to...
If you don't mind putting the slide on, I just want to ask the question. So we've been focusing a lot on the object, but a thought comes about from consciousness plus the object or emotion. We haven't really covered the emotion part of it. So emotion is feeling, but when you feel something, you can also feel peace, which is more of a state. So how do we, object was defined as name, form, or function. But how do we really delve into emotion? Because for us to not have any thoughts, we really need to start delving into not seeing objects, name, form, or functions, and we also need to be able to identify what's the feelings that are coming within us. Like, it could be a feeling of conditional love, or it could be a bad feeling.
Good and bad and all of that stuff, yes. Ugly and beautiful, and big beautiful bill and all that stuff. So, a very important question. We talked about object. Yes, we can relate to an object with a name, form, and a function, and all of that stuff. How do we drop emotions? How do we look at emotions as objects? And in fact, that's a very beautiful exercise of self-healing. I'll make a statement you can write down. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Did Jesus have pain on the cross? 100%. There's a beautiful cross here. 100%. He cried in pain. He shouted loudly, as it is said. And he even asked, Father, what are you doing to me? If you read the Bible. This is also stated by Bhagavan. Bhagavan said very clearly, he had immense pain, but he did not suffer. Suffering is an emotion. Pain is what is there. Pain is the object. Okay. Pain is an object, right? Now, if you actually objectify your pain or even happiness, it's easy to objectify pain than happiness if you actually think about it. When you have pain in the body, okay, do this exercise of making sure where the pain is and give it how big it is. Like the neurologist asks, is it on a scale of 1 to 5? Is it a 5 or a 1? Okay, all those questions. Ask yourself the question, why we are having the pain? Is immensely useful for people that suffer with regular headaches or migraine, etc. And I'm not a doctor or a psychologist or etc. Just for you to think about this. Objectify it. How big is this pain? Is it oval or is it circular? Where exactly is it located? How deep it is within my head? Do all this stuff. Then you will know. You will not suffer from it. It will keep moving. You try to chase it. Now you separated yourself from your pain. Before that you suffer because you have identified yourself with the pain. The moment you separate yourself from the pain and start watching it, yes, the pain is there, but you don't suffer because it's an object of an experience. Hey, this is too deep, huh? Yeah, way too deep. Nobody gives you workshop. You are come for Vedas for all in a valley. And here we are talking about pain, suffering. And this is life lessons. I did not learn this from some psychologist or anything like that. Some of these are described in the mantras themselves. And the vibration that is generated, the energy that is generated, will help you get into this level of separating yourself from all these emotions, all these commotions, all these feelings. And one Mahatma who was in Uttarakhand, I heard this story from Swami Sarvapriyananda, that the person went and said, oh, I have severe, Swamiji, I have severe arthritis pain, and I can't even stand for a long time, I'm suffering a lot from that, etc. And that Mahatma, that Swamiji gave him this experience. Okay, where is the pain? Objectified, all of that stuff. And he said, do this every day that you have the pain. And after 3-4 days, he came and he said, Swamiji, I'm happy now. He said, you are not the pain, you are not the suffering of the pain, so also you are not happiness from the relief of the pain. You are neither the pain nor the happiness. Without pain or with pain. So you are separating yourself and looking at everything. It's an object of experience. It's an object of experience that is related to your mind. It is not related to who you are. Yeah? How hungry you are all feeling now with all this, No hungry, no suffering from hunger. You are hungry or you are suffering from hunger. Are they the same? If you are suffering from hunger, you will eat like crazy. If you are hungry, you will eat only 1/4 of your stomach. That's what Swami said. The rest of the half you will fill with water, and the rest you will leave for air, so that there will be good digestion. But we give no space for any air. No, it is not. Because especially in America, they have what's called all you can eat. Buy one, get one free. Okay, is that helping? Now we want to take an example. Are we all ready for an example? We'll take an example of light only. And there is a mantra related to light. Who can guess that?
Aruna Prashna?
Aruna Prashna. Oh my God. Hey, you are very good level here. Talk the language they understand. I am asking. Most commonly chanted mantra about light. It's the Gayatri mantra, yes. It's the Gayatri mantra. And yesterday I had a beautiful experience at the Sufi temple. After the whole satsang was over, I went to the altar and there was a book. There were all these books about compassion and all those on the altar. And I opened the book right in front of truth. And the page I opened was Gayatri mantra. Imagine what are the chances of that happening. The page that I opened to in the book was Gayatri mantra. And that is in front of this value called truth. Now you understand now what Gayatri Mantra is. Okay, let's now project Gayatri Mantra from the Rudram file or something. And then we will look at the Gayatri Mantra, how it is related to this entire thing called consciousness, objects in consciousness, how we can actually learn from the Gayatri Mantra. Why is it named as Gayatri Mantra? What does the word Gayatri mean? Definitely it's not a woman. We are used to so many women's voices, Google Maps, that and this, They put the woman's voice because that's the only voice man can listen to. Try George Bush's voice and you'll stop driving, Or even worse, Trump's voice. So when you look at this mantra, don't try to understand anything about it, first of all. Let us only look at the mantra. And when we are chanting, as my dearest Kavi will say, do you know your scale? Identify your scale. What scale am I playing right now? F. Because you are all caught up in consciousness, you selected C. So, the first thing itself, Om. I was waiting for you all to chant because I want to hear all of us chanting it together. So I won't use my mic to chant so that we are all hearing each other and chanting together, collectively, okay? And then we go into what does this mantra really do? Why is it called Gayatri? Why is it named as Gayatri? Okay, let's start. So this mantra, the primary mantra, will come to Bhur Bhuva Swaha later. The next lines, Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Those are the syllables. So first you have to understand, before you even try to have the meaning or etc., have you gotten the syllables? And a syllable is defined as a consonant or a group of consonants that end with a vowel. And the vowels are A, I, E, O, U. A, I, O, U. So those are A, E, U, O, Au, A, I. Those are the vowels. A, and there is a longer aspect of it. A is one snap. A, two snaps. E, one snap. E, two snaps. So A is a short vowel. A, long vowel. So the duration of chanting should be like that. E, U, A, I. There is also I'm not going to throw them. Those are complex vowels, very rarely used, but they are important. I'm only focusing on most commonly used vowels. Then A, I, O, Au. Those are the vowels. So when you see this text written in English, the advantage is you can clearly identify when a consonant or a group of consonants are ending with vowels. No? Let's do that exercise. Very quickly we'll go through that exercise. So, ta is the first. I'm only focusing on that from there. Yeah. Ta. What is the next syllable? We call it syllable. Syllable means a consonant or a group of consonants followed by vowel. Ta. What's the next syllable? Sa. Sa. T is ta. That is a sibilant sa. So it becomes sa. Ta. Sa. 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 So, when Sanskritam is a completely phonetic language, you will pronounce every consonant along with the vowel in it. There are no silent stuff going on with. There's nothing silent in Sanskritam. Everything it's a phonetic language. So, every single consonant has to be pronounced. Ta, sa. Then, V. Next. Tu. Next. Rva. Rva. It's not va, it is rva. Rva. Ta, ta, sa, vi, tu, rva. Re. No, it is re. 2 syllables, right? 2 snaps. Re. Now. Nya. Nya. Because the go to the bha. Because it's not a vowel, it's a consonant. Yeah? Ta, sa, vi, tu, urva, re, nya, mbha, mbha, go, de, va, sya, dhi, ma, he. Now we are long vowels, short vowels. Now this is different way of, it's a different, but it's the correct way of learning. Then you will pronounce every syllable correctly. When we write in Sanskritam, it is not broken down like that. Ta is one character, sa will be another character. It won't be split like that. English is the language that disintegrates everything. Sanskritam integrates. Indian language integrates. So this whole mantra can be written in Devanagari in 1/3 of the space that is written in English. Space conservation, paper conservation. So then dhi, yo, dhi, yo, na, pra, cho, da, yad. That's the mantra. Now, when we are, can you give me F, please? Silent. So, now, when you are looking at that mantra, now I am going only through the logistics aspect of how to learn chanting. That's how you learn the mantra. You look at the mantra, there is a technique that is taught when you want to learn something. This is helpful for the students. It's called SQRRR. SQRRR. First survey. First you have to survey. Then you have to ask the questions. What questions come up when I read this? Then you read it. Then you recite it. Then you retain it. Oh, it's too much process now. No more Vedas for all. Vedas for Kabir only. No more Vedas for all. Gone with the wind. Am I helping you or not? This is when the teacher is teaching properly in India, they don't give any text. No text is given. You are only supposed to listen and exactly repeat the syllables. So then what happens is there is no visual bias. it's completely listening and 100% listening. So what you are listening, you are not listening to the words, you are listening to the syllables. Ta, so now sa is up. Cha, vi, tu, ruva, re, e, nyam. So now I'm putting the notations right on the syllables. Please give the scale again. Om, is it here? Om, tat, sa, vi, tu, ruva, re, nyam, bhargo, Dhimahi, not Dhimahi, no, there is a sharp vowel in here. So you can't pronounce it long, you have to pronounce it only once. Dhimahi, Dhimahi. So there is now what you are hearing, snaps is sound intervals. So everything is being chanted within an interval of time, within an interval of time. Then what happens if somebody says Dhimahi, somebody says Dhimahi, there is a difference. Not everyone is aligned, collective chanting. So that's why one should understand the syllables. Dhe, yo, yo, I will say and you play so that they will listen to the sound and along with the syllable. Dhe, yo. Play as individual syllables, don't play continuity. Dhe, yo, yeah, yo, na, pra, cho, da, ya, ad. There you go. Now you understand it's a sound vibration. It's a sound vibration, that's all it is. You want to chant now, you pay now that you can see the mantra, because you are seeing and chanting, put a specific effort on making sure that you are pronouncing. It is not a di, it is a dhi. Dhi. So wherever it is written as, where there is a, what we call it is a bha. Bha, mbha, actually it is mbha. There is no separation there. Tat, sa, vi, tur. No, please don't chant, listen. Tat, sa, vi, tur, va, re, e, nyam, bha. So I did not stop at nyam. Because there is a continuity. It is not a split there. Even though it is, because the syllable is mbha. So in Devanagari or in Indian languages, it will be written as umbha, not varenyam and bha. That's how you have to learn it. Okay, so please don't chant. Listen intently. Listen to the vibration. Just pretend that you don't know this mantra. Only listen to it. So, tat sa vi tur vare e nyam bhar go. Somebody is chanting. You should not chant, listen. When you are listening, you are not chanting. If you are chanting along with me, you are not listening. Because you can chant and listen at the same time. At least I can. You may be an evolved soul. Humanly, it's not possible to both speak and listen at the same time. So therefore, the first skill you have to learn is how intently you can listen. And listening without any thought in your head. That means what? Complete listening. You are not hearing, you are listening. There's a difference between the two. You hear something is not equivalent to what you listen. When you listen, there is no thought. Complete attention. So now, what this mantra is saying is, now I'll chant one more time. Om Bhur Bhusvaha will come that later. Tat sa vi tur vare e nyam bhar go devasya integrate the syllables. I've broken them a little bit so that you understand syllable chanting. A syllable is equal to a consonant or a group of consonants that end with an vowel. That is a syllable. And that syllable has components associated with duration, and it has intonation. Intonation meaning some going up, some going down, some going double up, indicated by those red verticals and red underlines. So when it is ta, ta, that's your base. Ta, cha is up. That's why there is on the vowel you will find the indicator of one vertical line. Yes, you can see in there. V. So your base is ta, V. Now it is going one note lower. V. Turva. Turva is tu, rva. Re, e. Nyam, bha. Go, de, va, sya, dhi, ma, he. What you are listening? Vibrations. Unique vibrations are being created. It is a pattern of vibrations. It's not like composition in all over the scale, all over the notes, etc. Only you are playing with the three notes, a bass note. Only those. Only four notes, nothing more than that. So that creates a pattern. And that pattern is associated with certain syllables. And when you hear them, automatically, like a child that cannot read can still sing. Huh? A child will not be able to read, but they can sing a song. How is that possible? How is that possible for a 4-year-old, 3-year-old? How can they sing? There is a boy that was recently in that Super Singer 3. His name is Avirbhav from Kerala. Fellow doesn't know any Hindi. 7-year-old boy can sing all the Hindi songs, and he was one of the Super Singer winners. 7-year-old boy. Amazing. How it happens? Because the mind has the ability first to listen carefully, even before it sees, it can listen. And that quality has developed within you in the 4th month when you are in the mother's womb. You are able to listen. So the first voice you will recognize when you come out of mother's womb is the mother's voice, because that's what you are in tune with. And imagine if this mother is chanting vibrations and creating this vibrations when the child is in the tummy. You imagine what the child is brought into the world, already tuned into all different vibrations associated. Each one is a unique vibration. You understand? So each one is a unique vibration. Okay. Now that you understood this, let us chant only Tatsavitra Varenyam. Now if you look at how many syllables are there in the Tatsavitra Varenyam, count them. Tatsavitra Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. How many syllables are there?
24. Is that you counted and you are saying it, or because you know it, you said it?
Yes.
How many syllables?
Count. Ta, sa, vi, tu, rva, re, nyam, bha, rgo, de, va, sya, dhi, ma, hi, dhi, yo, naf, pra, cho, da, yat. 24 syllables are there. Okay? 24 syllables in that pattern. Okay, let's go. One more chant. Okay, you can put it in your harmonium style. Okay. Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo no, it is what's called ending with a consonant. It's a half consonant. Half consonant means consonant without carrying a vowel. Okay? So you have to also pay attention to them. Those have half snap. So there are 3 snaps, 3 timings associated with it. Half a snap, 1 snap is short syllable, 2 snaps is long syllable. When if it gets to intonation of 2, it gets 1 extra. That means it becomes 3. So that's the duration. So now we covered pronunciation, intonation, duration. Then there is force. It is dhimahi. It is not dhimahi. It is not boo. Don't boo the God. It is boo. Boo. So very important. So I always teach the people, when you say boo, you should watch the learning modules. There is called, if you go to Vedas study, saiatirudram.org, we created these modules. How to pronounce. There are 6 principles primarily: pronunciation, intonation, duration, force, continuity, pauses and breaks. English only, no? I promise you, I will not use the words like svarita, dirgha svarita, udatta, anudatta, then matra, balam, sama, santanam, all that varna, swaraha, matra, balam, sama, santanam, all that is English. All that is what we call as unnecessary technicality for a simple mind. It's great if you know the Sanskritam language, but if you don't know Sanskritam language, you don't have to be caught up in that quote-unquote Maya. So it's simple. What we say? Pronunciation, intonation, duration, force, continuity. Continuity also has pauses and breaks. 6 principles. So now, once you understand this, then you understand the syllables. You don't have to know the language, nothing. Don't worry about any of that stuff. Am I pronouncing? Am I intonating? Am I giving enough duration? Short syllable, long syllable? Am I using enough force? Is it bha or ba? Is it a pa or pa? How do I know that? How do I know the difference between how to say ba and a bha? Because when I say ba, ba, there is no air coming from my mouth. And there is no throat used in pronunciation. Ba, ba, ba. Only lips. Ba. Whereas when I say bha, my throat comes into picture, and from the throat you are throwing more force into saying the ba as bha. So unaided by throat, aided by throat. 2 principles. Consonants that are unaided by throat, aided by throat. And then there are consonants. There is a progression of sound that is happening. If you look at, there is a progression. When I say ka is being said here. G. It's coming from the guttural level, back of your throat. G. Then you say ch. The tongue is used and the tongue is touching back of the palate, back of your palate. Ch, j. Then tongue is moving to the next level, which is cerebral. D. Then tongue is moving to the front, in between the teeth and the mouth, which is the. Then it is moving to the lips. Ba. Hey, it's very simple. This is really science of sound. Then you are experiencing the sound within yourself. These are all the things that are pronounced without so there are gutturals, palatals, cerebrals, dentals, labials. So how the sound is moving, where you hit to pronounce the sound, they are named like that. So K, G are gutturals. Ch, J, palatal. T, D, cerebral. T, D, dental. P, B, labials. That is without the aid of the throat. So the same guttural with the aid of the throat and using force. Kh, gh, kh, gh. Where you pronounce it ka, you are pronouncing the same place, but you are using throat and you are throwing force or aid out along with that. So those are very hard because many of the Latin and also the Western languages do not have those throat-aided consonants, so it becomes very hard for people to pronounce those. That's all it is. And now I listen to everything that you said. And what you are doing is, it's completely phonetic. There is no other sound introduced other than where you are uttering them. There is no, like French or any other languages, there is nothing like that. Not making fun of French, but what I am saying, there is no complexity associated. 100% very easy and clear once you understand these principles. Now, when I say ch, unaided, cha, ja, unaided, jha. Then there is the next one, tha, dha. These are you have to practice. These are called mother sounds. Mother sounds. See, even sound we call a mother. Not a father sound. There is no father sound. Mother sounds in Sanskritam, they are called matrukas. Matruka means mother sound. And this mother sounds that we are pronouncing, so we have in consonants, we talked about a ka, a palatal group. Then there is a, next one is, a guttural group, a palatal group, a cerebral group, a dental group, and a labial group. 5 groups are there. 5 groups. So therefore they are called kha, ga, gha, cha, cha, ja, jha, ta, tha, da, dha, ta, tha, da, dha, pa, pha, ba, bha. Now, it's very important to use those what we call as forced syllables because they give certain level of vibration which the other sounds won't have. So the reason why I did not talk about bhur, bhuva, swaha is because they require now om, bhur, bhuva, swaha. Let's look at the syllables. What are the syllables here? Syllables. Now, let's go. First syllable. Om. Om is a syllable. Next. Bhu. Very good. Next syllable. No. Urbhu. Urbhu. Because the ra you should not, the r you should not take it with the first one. It's not Om Bhur. No. Om Bhur Bhuva. See how I'm saying? Bhuva. Bhuva. Hello, everybody is chanting on their own. Come on. Stay with the group. Collective. Yes, sister.
So Om is a syllable.
Yes.
Because I would have thought Om.
Yeah, now that's a very good question. Where is the vowel there, right? And they're called seed. They're called seed letters. So each of these letters, when they're only associated with the they're called seed sounds or mother seed sounds. That's why in Sanskritam they're called bija aksharas. Bija means seed. Akshara means not letter. Akshara means that which does not decay. We don't consider even language as non-divine colloquial gibberish. There is divinity associated with even language. That's the beauty of Veda. That's the beauty of Sanatana Dharma. So now, going back, Om, there should be a pause there because it's a seed letter. Om, Bhur, Bhuva, Suvah. No, syllables. Om, Bhu, Bhu, Va, Su, Su. There is a S-S-U, double S-U. Su, Vaha, because aha is a syllable. Aha is a syllable. They're also part of the vowel group. Now, same principles we have applied to the consonants that we went through, the guttural, the palatal, the cerebral, the dental and the labial. Even the vowels are pronounced from certain places in the body, but without use of mouth or the tongue. That's why they're called vowels. So no mouth or tongue is used when you say no tongue, no mouth. Where is sound coming from? Coming from here. It's coming from the navel. Uninterrupted. From the navel it's coming. Then we say where is sound coming from? At the guttural level. Sound is coming at the guttural level. E. Feel the sound. Experience the sound. When you experience the sound, you notice that the E is coming from E. But there is no tongue used. There is no use of the tongue or the throat. Nothing is used. E. Oo. Lips came together. Oo. E. Oo. Then there is a combination of A and E will become A. It's called a diphthong. Combination of two vowels. A, I, O, Ow. Those are combination. A, I, O, Ow are combination vowels. There's a little more complex vowels. R. Tongue is learning but not touching. Tongue is rolling a little bit like Rishi. Now it's not a Rushi, it's a Rishi. Then there is a it's an L with a dot below it. Those are very hard to pronounce. I won't get into that. That's the next level of vowels, but those are rarely used. The and the are rarely used. But are used as a Rishi, Ritu, Prakriti, Hridaya. All those words have a R with a dot below it. But in this mantra, we don't have that. Okay, now we went through the first Bhur, Bhu, Va, Su, Va, Ha. Now when you look at the syllables, Bhur, Bhuva, Bhur, Bhuva. Okay, Bhur, Bhuva. Clear that? Suvaha. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Om Bhur Bhuva Suvaha. Tat Savitur Don't do anything, just only chant. Don't worry about the meaning, nothing. But chant perfectly. Chant perfectly with all these forced consonants and simple consonants and combined consonants. Those, if you just practice those only. And there is a beautiful exercise of taking these vowels and the consonants and each of them has a divine vibration associated with them. And those vibrations are present in your own body at 51 places. So when these vibrations are pronounced and practiced, and you know the energies associated with them, automatically your body becomes an energy center because it's filled with these vibrations. So let me show, for example, if you add to each of these, each of them becomes a unique seed letter. So the vowels that we went through, a, I, u, r, e, I, o, au, k, g, haven't come through nasals. So with each of these, the gutturals, palatals, etc., there are sounds associated with the nose also, nasals, they are called nasals. So when you say Ganga, 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 it is gum, ga, but the g plus plus g plus a became Ganga. Maybe I have to use it. Can you type? So if you just take G, just take G, that is a half consonant because it doesn't have a vowel associated with G, plus a, plus G, plus M, plus A, Ganga, the should come there. Ga plus M there. So it's actually G plus It is a vowel. No, ga. Keep going. Erasing back. Instead of G plus A, put G plus A-M. No A there. Just G plus A-M. Gum plus G plus A. Now what is that? Ganga. Okay. But actually as a syllable, it is, when you read as syllables, it's ga, ga. Okay. But that it's not pronounced as Wherever you pronounce the ga, you have to pronounce the also. Then it becomes Ganga, 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 Ganga. It is not Gamga. On a lighter note, in 2010 when I came here, we were doing Nam Sankirtanam and I was singing Om Gam Ganapati, Om Gam Ganapati. One guy came and gave me chewing gum after that. I was surprised, what is this? He said, you'll be saying gum, take some gum, So, this, when you say Gam Ganapati, it has to be gum because it is a seed letter. Whereas when it is associated in a word, it is not Gamga, it is Ganga. Ganga. So, when you notice this in the scripts that we have created, you will see, for example, in Rudram, you will see an N with a dot on the top of it. That means it is an Nga sound. If it is a N with a squiggle on it, yeah, there you go. If it is an N with a squiggle on it, yes. Pramuncha, for example, okay. Shivam Giriprana, yeah. This example here. Yes. See, there you see, it is Shivam Giriprata, right? Shivam Girit, it is not Shivam, it is Shivam Girit. Because that anuswara is associated, that anuswara is the nasal sound takes over that. It won't be pronounced as a It is Shivam Giriprata. See, so that is the example of a guttural. When you go to a palatal, what are the palatals? Cha, cha, ja, jha. Then the sound is Inya. The nasal sound is Inya. So, Pramuncha Dhanvanastva. Keep going down. Pravancha Dhanya. There you see. Then in the pramuncha, you see an N with a squiggle on it. So it is not pramuncha, it is pramuncha, cha. So wherever the cha is pronounced is where the N is pronounced. Pramuncha. The next example is na. Tatha, datha, na. So, pramuncha dharma okay. Okay, in Ganapati, Ganapati. So, in the word Chandi, Chamundi, there you say Munda, Anda. So, it's actually Unda, not Muda. So, those examples when we are looking, you say Kavin Kavinam. So, look at Kavin Kavinam. It is N with a dot on it. So it is not Kavim Kavina, it is Kavim Kavina. Right? So, are we good with the rules of what? The reason why I brought those is, so there is Unga, there is Inya, there is Ana, there is Na, there is Ma. Those are the nasal sounds. They are called nasals. So putting everything together, there are 50 seed syllables associated with these mantras, and the 50 syllables are Am, Im, Ram, Em, Aum, Aha, Kang, Gam, Chan, Janyam, Tan tan dan dhanam, tan tan dan dhanam, pam pam bam bham mam, yam ram lam vam sham sam ham lam sham. This is a beautiful spiritual exercise. Your body becomes a vibration center. And then you have to do it up and down. Then what happens? It becomes a meditative experience of vibration. I'll do it, one full cycle. It's also posted on, you can post it if you're okay, as a short. Om is a syllable. Om, Im, Ram, Em, Aum, Aha, Kang, Gam, Chan, Janyam, Tan, Dan, Dhanam, Tan, Dan, Dhanam, Pam, Bam, Bham, Yam, Ram, Lam, Vam, Sham, Sam, Ham, Lam, Cham, Lam, Ham, Sam, Sham, Bam, Lam, Ram, Yam, Mam, Bham, Pam. I'm going reverse order. I'm going from 1 to 50 and from 50 to back, and then I'll take them. This is what's called as Matruka Sadhana, experience of vibrations of sound. These 50 sounds represents the ultimate root of any language, spoken language or even unspoken language in the entire universe. These are the vibrations. And these vibrations, the 50 of them, are the energy centers within our own body. And when you actually connect to them, you energize with these vibrations. It's supreme meditation. You don't even have to do any mantra chanting, nothing like that. Every day only do this. You will experience the vibration. Then when you integrate those and combine them as mantras, those vibrations give a particular name and a form associated with that my vibration, so that you can actually experience all of that. And what is experienced, we will go through that. Are we time for lunch? How much time we have? 10 minutes. Okay. So, you want to go through this, can you bring up the vocabulary? Did we put in, I think in the learning modules we shared those, right? You have it?
Slides.
Yeah. Yeah, so that they can all see what are all the 50 syllables, right? You can see. But by this time, you should intuitively come see. When I am chanting based on how I am experiencing sound vibration in my body. And then then it is not, I am using some letters to chant. I am actually producing vibrations in the body. And those vibrations, like we already said, E, U, R, E, I, O, Ah. These are the 16 vowels. We counted them? 16 vowels. And then there are 34 consonants. 16 plus 34, 50 mother sounds. And these 50 mother sounds, in what we call as Matruka Sadhana, are experiencing these vibrations. Am, Im, Rum, Room, Aim, Om, Kam, Gang, Gum. These are the energy centers associated with these letters. Cham, Jan, Nyam, Tan, Dan, Nam. Is it too much information? I don't want you to turn into PhDs, as I say. Permanent head damage after that. Everybody, if you start driving like that, you will get into accidents. But this is the reason why these are not simply letters. These are vibrations. And then I said, so this is thum, thun, dun, dhan, nam, pum, pum, bum, bum, mum, yum, ram, lam, vum, sham, sam, hum, lam, sham. So each of those vibrations have a divine goddess associated with it. It represents 50 Shakti Pithas in the body, 50 energy centers in the body. So your body becomes an energy center, a vibration center. And if you have purity of diet and purity of thought, you will automatically get the purity of the speech. And when you have, your body becomes that energy center. When you chant a mantra, the mantra reveals itself to you what it means. You don't have to read a book. Now you understand why it is a continuous learning process. So people dedicated their lifetimes to study Vedas. Here we are, we want to learn these mantras on a YouTube channel without a guru, looking at a book. It's impossible to learn these without the aid of a teacher, because when you are pronouncing something, you are looking at it. Swami has himself said that. He said there is no script to exactly depict as letters for Veda mantras, because they are vibrations. No script can even come close to putting it. The only script that will come closest to reproducing those vibrations is Devanagari. That Devanagari means the script of the divine itself. And there is a tool called tonography, in which people have done experiments with these vibrations. And this tonography you feed, it will take that vibration, it will create a letter for it. And exactly that sound will come as how it is written in Sanskrit as There are only two languages that the humanity speaks right now that has the capability of taking a vibration and producing a script out of it. The first is Devanagari, the second is Hebrew. If you want to learn more about it, come to the UCT session. There I will talk about the science of the sound. This is a teaser. So now, what is spiritual person? What does this mean? What it means is, you are connecting to your whole body as an energy center, and there are 50 energy centers located. Imagine by chanting these mantras, all those energy centers are activated. Who are you? Walking transformer. Don't play with me. And that's what the rishis had the power of. Gayatri mantra has such a power that it can 100% heal the negative vibration associated with yourself or your surroundings. There is an experience of Madam Phyllis Crystal that she shared about Gayatri mantra. By the way, Gayatri mantra, Bhagavan himself has said so much about Gayatri mantra. It is he has given an enormous amount of information about Gayatri mantra. And then what he has actually said is, Gayatri mantra can be chanted by anyone, anywhere, anytime, without any restriction. Because it's a mantra of healing. It's a mantra of healing the life force within us. How that is, we will tune in after the lunch. But I will tell the experience of Phyllis Crystal. The aeroplane on which she was one time was hijacked by terrorists, and they took it to some place in Pakistan, and they were all terrified. You can go check out her sharing on YouTube. Most of you probably already heard about it. She didn't know what to do. Nobody knows what to do. Then she suddenly remembered that Gayatri mantra will heal the people who have negative feelings. And what she started doing, she closed her eyes. Of course, she didn't chant loudly. She started chanting Gayatri mantra, but with the focus of those terrorists in her mind center. After she chanted 108 Gayatris, the hijackers brought the plane back to India, and they were all saved. Hello. Real life experience. Real life experience. What does it mean that, what happened? I mean, this is my extrapolation. So what happened in that situation? Darkness will be thrown light. Darkness will be driven away by what? Light. Gayatri mantra is the light. When you invoke the light, the darkness will be dispelled. That is what she did using this mantra. Gayatri has three meanings. Gayatam trayate iti Gayatri. Gayantam trayate iti Gayatri. Gayati trayati iti Gayatri. Three different levels of meaning. None of them apply to any woman. That which protects the individual life force is called Gayatri. That which protects when you sing it is Gayatri. That which goes up and down is Gayatri. These are the three simplest meanings without going into it. So the Gayatri aspect of it, that principles, the meanings of the Gayatri, how are they related to the mantra that we are chanting? Stay tuned, we'll be right back. It's just the power of that vibration that protects you. The examples that we talked about, protection from hijackers, protection from thugs, happening because the vibration has that capacity. You don't even have to know the meaning of it. But once you know the meaning of it, you will understand why does that mantra have that potency. Because then you will actually, what it will do is, yes, you will get the physical, worldly benefit of it. For sure, whether you know the meaning or not, 100% you will get the physical benefit of it. But then you go into the deeper understanding of it, it will take you to the awareness unimaginable. One mantra we are talking about, and na Gayatriya Paramo Mantra. In fact, it is said in Vedas, there is no more supreme mantra than the Gayatri mantra. And why is that the supreme mantra? What is the reason why it is supreme mantra? Of course, 100% for sure. When Bhagavan Sri Satsai Baba says, anyone, anytime, anywhere, anyhow can chant Gayatri mantra. That is nothing to do with what religion you belong to, what faith you belong to. Gayatri mantra does not protect only Hindus. Phyllis Crystal is an ardent Christian. She is a Catholic Christian. But she followed what Bhagavan has said because she knows God will tell only what is beneficial to us. He will not say otherwise. But we have lost touch with this incredible treasure trove of wisdom, knowledge, protection that is helpful for us, individuals and collectively. And we have treated that as superstition, blind belief, related to my religion. It is too much intimidating. I can't get connected to it, etc. So what is in it for Gayatri Mantra? Brother's life experience itself says what is in Gayatri Mantra. If not anything else, you have put a protective armor around you, a shield, an aura that will be created, that no negative energy can even penetrate into that aura. These are experiments done by people that use tools to measure energy transmission. And they have done it. If you go circumambulation around a cow, how much of your aura expands? If you do circumambulation around a person that is chanting Gayatri Mantra, like 108 times a day, there is an armor of aura around that person. No negative energy can even penetrate into that. That's the power of the mantra itself. Why does it have the power? Stay tuned. Brahma. Jai Sai Ram. Brahmarpanam Brahmavihe Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaivate Nagantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritah Pranapana Samayuktah Ajamyannam Chadurvidham I'll briefly say the meaning of this mantra that we chanted from the divine scripture of Bhagavad Gita, stated as Brahmarpanam, offered to the Brahman within, Brahmagnau, in the fire of Brahman, Brahmaivate Nagantavyam, consumed by the Brahman, the fire within me. That's why we call it fire in the belly. The fire in the belly consumes, that is the Brahman, consuming the Brahman himself, so that the energy that is produced is the Brahman. That energy gets us to do the work of the Brahman. So the material is Brahman, the one who is consuming is Brahman, it is consumed by the Brahman, it is converted into the energy of the Brahman, and that energy helps us to do the work of the Brahman. And then the God within, the Brahman within, is replying to that prayer and saying, Aham, I am, Vaishvanaro Bhutva, I am present as this fire by name Vaishvanara within you. Praninam Dehamashritah, in all the bodies of the beings, I am the fire in the belly and my name is Vaishvanara. And I am going to take what you have provided, both that is solid and also liquid, and convert that into the life force within you, and that life being oxygen and carbon dioxide, the two, Praninan Dehamasritaha, Prana Apana Samayuktaha. I will balance the life forces, Prana and Apana within you, and therefore I will consume the 4 types of food that you have offered to me. That is the response from the Brahman. So now you understand there is a call and a response, and this is stated by Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita. So next time when we chant the Brahmarpanam, my request to you is look at the syllables and chant. Jai Sai Ram.